The joy of solitude. The island within. There is a kind of aloneness that is cold and hollow, the feeling of standing in a crowded room with nowhere to put your heart. And there is another kind, quiet and luminous, like stepping onto a small island where the air is clear and the ground is firm. Thích Nhất Hạnh calls this second kind of aloneness true solitude. He is careful to say that solitude is not isolation and not a retreat from life. It is a way of dwelling with life in a more honest, tender way. He loves the image offered by the Buddha of taking refuge in the island of self, and he returns to it again and again. To take refuge in this island is to return to the present moment where your breath is happening, where your feet are touching the ground, where the body remembers that it is safe to be a body. As he says in Silence, silence and solitude are not conditions we have to chase in a far monastery. They are inner rooms we can enter anywhere, even on a bus, even in a market, even at the sink, with our hands in warm water. This solitude is an interior skill. We practice it in the middle of our lives because it is our lives that most need it. He says, in peace is every step that many of us run all day, through tasks, through screens, through our own thoughts, without ever arriving where we are. To practice solitude is to stop running. One breath is enough to begin. Breathing in, you know you are breathing in. Breathing out, you know you are breathing out. This is not simplistic, it is precise. The breath is a rope thrown across the gap between mind and body. When you hold the rope gently and return, the sense of exile lightens. You discover that being with yourself is not a punishment, it is nourishment. Nourishment is his key word. He will often say that if we do not nourish ourselves with stillness and presence, we have nothing of real substance to offer others. We can give advice and opinions and effort, but if we have not come home to our own breathing, our words will be hurried and our efforts brittle. In The Art of Living, he writes that true presence is the first gift we can give, and it cannot be faked. Solitude ripens that presence. Alone for a few minutes, on a cushion, in a chair, on a slow walk, you can taste the simple sweetness of existing without producing, existing without explaining. The relief is physical, jaw softening, shoulders releasing, belly unclenching. You are not empty because nothing is happening. You are full of what is actually here. In that fullness, the mind grows kinder. The paradox is that solitude makes real intimacy possible. When you are rooted in yourself, you are less likely to grasp at others to stabilize you. Your listening becomes spacious. Your speech becomes careful and warm. You need less from others because you are with yourself. Thích Nhất Hạnh insists that we do not practice solitude to get better at solitude. We practice it so we can be more skillfully together. As he says in How to Love, understanding is love's other name, and we cannot understand another if we have never learned to sit inside our own experience with patience. Noble silence, everyday quiet. Solitude for him walks hand in hand with silence. He makes a distinction that helps. Quiet is an outer condition. Silence is an inner capacity. You can be in a library and be noisy inside, the mind clattering from plan to memory to worry. You can be in a market, noise all around, and be silent within, the breath smooth and the attention deep. In Silence, he describes this inner stillness as an elegant kind of silence, not heavy, not forced. It is the kind of quiet an ocean has at dawn, when the moon is still visible and the water holds it perfectly. For the mind to reflect reality clearly, it has to be that kind of quiet, not dead, not empty, but poised and receptive. How do we cultivate it? He does not begin with rules. He begins with the body. Sit in a way that is kind, straight but not rigid, alert but not strained. Let the hands rest where they can forget themselves. Allow the breath to be just as it is for a minute or two. Then, very softly, Let the out-breath lengthen by a half second. The body reads that lengthening as safety and begins to set down its bags. A pleasant neutrality appears, the feeling of being neither pulled nor pushed. In that neutrality, the internal commentary quiets not because we silenced it, but because it has less to argue with. He loves practical thresholds. In Plum Village, when a bell sounds, any bell, even a phone, everyone stops for 3 breaths. This ritual does not silence the world. It trains the heart to remember that silence is available. You can adopt a version of this practice at home or work without telling anyone. Let the sound of a message, the sight of a doorway, or the feel of water on your hands be your bell. For the briefest moment, pause. Breathe in, breathe out, and let the mouth soften into a half smile. In peace is every step. He offers a small verse. Listen, listen. This wonderful sound brings me back to my true home. The bell does not give you a home. It points you to the one you already carry. Silence also needs boundaries. In The Art of Communicating, he suggests setting aside small spaces in the day when you refrain from consuming. No email, no news, no commentary, so that attention can convalesce. He is not proposing a lifetime behind a wall. He is proposing a daily hour when the walls inside you can come down. Many find that a shared household, quiet period, after dinner or before bed, restores sleep, softens conflict, and returns a sense of kindness to common spaces. When silence is honored not as a rule, but as a shared source of nourishment, people begin to love it. They feel their own faces change in it. Silence is not opposed to energy. It is what allows steady energy to grow. In How to Walk, he describes walking slowly, enjoying each step, and discovering that calm is not the absence of movement, but the quality of movement when you are fully there. When the mind is scattered, even sitting is exhausting. When the mind is gathered, even work becomes an extension of rest. This is why he says that we do not sit in order to become calm later. We sit so we can live the rest of the day from a calm place. Solitude and silence are not vacations from life. They are the way we learn to carry life more skillfully. Living alone in the midst of others. Buddhist teaching sometimes speaks of living alone, and Thích Nhất Hạnh is careful to explain what this means. It does not mean fleeing your family or renouncing your neighborhood. It means that wherever you are not lost in the past or the future, not carried away by other people's stories, not kidnapped by your own. Your body and mind live together, awake in this moment. In the heart of the Buddha's teaching, he explains that to live alone in this sense is to have sovereignty. You are not a victim of your environment, though you are in honest relationship with it. You can be in a meeting, aware of your breath, and therefore free to choose your words. You can be with someone who is suffering, aware of your own sensations, and therefore free to offer them true presence rather than anxious fixing. This inner aloneness gives you back your dignity and your pace. One of his favorite sentences is also one of his simplest. I have arrived, I am home. He invites us to walk with those words, step by step, particularly in places where we usually dissociate. Parking lots, corridors, the space between the car and the door. Each step says, I will not postpone myself. Each step says, I will not abandon my breathing to rush to the next thing. When you arrive in this way, you become trustworthy to yourself. You can rely on your own company. This is what makes solitude joyful instead of bleak. You are arriving to someone you are beginning to love. There is also a protective power in this practice. Many of us carry within us the habit of being easily swayed by other people's moods. If someone near us is tense, we become tense. If someone is angry, we armor up. True solitude allows us to notice this resonance and choose how to respond. Thích Nhất Hạnh often instructs practitioners to be like a mountain during a storm. The mountain does not attack the storm or deny it. It stays rooted. Your breath is your mountain. Your posture is your mountain. With practice, the storm may still soak you, but it cannot blow you away. Living alone in this way also softens loneliness. Loneliness thrives on the story that we are cut off. Solitude, by contrast, reveals connection. When you sit quietly and really feel a breath arrive, you are feeling the work of trees. When you sip water in silence, you are tasting clouds. In Love, Letter to the Earth, he invites us to fall in love with the planet in exactly this embodied way. The more deeply you attend, the less alone you become. This is why solitude makes us more loving. It reveals the relationships that were always there. And when solitude reveals pain, it gives us the conditions to hold it well. In No Mud, No Lotus, he is adamant that suffering is not a problem to be solved, but a living material to be tended. Solitude gives you time and space to tend. You can breathe with anger without fearful eyes on you. You can weep without having to explain. You can listen to the knots inside your chest and begin to loosen them with compassion. Then, when you return to others, you bring less of your unworked pain into the room. This is a gift. Simple ways to practice nourishing aloneness. Thich Nhat Hanh's genius is to translate deep truths into home practices. He trusts kitchens and porches more than exotic landscapes. To cultivate solitude and silence, he suggests many small, faithful gestures rather than rare, heroic ones. In How to Sit, he recommends a daily sitting that is pleasant enough to repeat. 5 or 10 minutes is not too little. If you sit with gentleness and end before you are flooded, the body will look forward to it. Sit in a favorite chair if that helps. Place your hands on your belly so you can feel the rising and falling. Let the breath come and go as it wishes for 2 minutes. Then perhaps lengthen the out-breath a little and follow it all the way to the end, as if you were following a note of music into silence. Rest in that end for a heartbeat before the next in-breath begins on its own. This is not effortful, it is savoring. He invites walking as a daily doorway. Choose a short path you walk every day, a hallway, a stretch of sidewalk, a garden loop. Walk it slowly once with full attention before you speed up. Feel the foot meet the floor. Let the mouth curve in a half smile. In How to Walk, he suggests the simple mantra, I have arrived. I am home. The words are not magic. They are permissions. They allow you to stop negotiating with the future for your right to be alive now. He recommends ordinary seals within ordinary activities. Before you open a screen, take one breath and touch the body. Before you speak on a difficult call, take one breath and soften the mouth. Before you eat, pause long enough to notice color and scent, and to remember that you are about to receive the work of sun, rain, soil, and hands. These are tiny practices, but they accumulate into a climate. A household where one person keeps such seals becomes gradually less frantic. A workplace where one person pauses before replying becomes a better place to tell the truth. Thich Nhat Hanh is realistic about habit energy, the push to hurry, to fill silence, to avoid being with ourselves, and he counsels kindness toward it. When you notice that you've been surfing for half an hour without tasting a single breath, do not scold. Smile to the habit. There you are again. Then stand up, walk 3 slow steps, and begin again. In Peace is every step. He reminds us that the present moment is always fresh, always ready to receive us, as if we had never left. You cannot be late to your own life. There is also the joy of shared quiet. Solitude is an interior condition. It can be practiced together. Sit with a friend for 10 minutes without talking, breathing side by side. Walk once around the block in silence. Share tea without screens, and let your eyes meet from time to time, not to start a conversation, but to acknowledge presence. In The Art of Communicating, he notes that a community grows healthy not only by talking well, but by knowing how to be quiet together. Even two people can be a community in this sense. The collective energy of two steady breaths is stronger than either breath alone. Freedom and clarity, the fruit of being with yourself. What ripens from these small, faithful practices is a freedom that is not dependent on circumstance. You find that you can sit on a plane, in a waiting room, on a noisy sidewalk, and still know the taste of your own breath. You discover that you can be with a difficult person and remain anchored in kindness, not by clenching, not by performing goodness, but by resting in a deeper ease that does not need to win. In the heart of the Buddha's teaching, Thích Nhất Hạnh describes this freedom as sovereignty. It is not the sovereignty of domination. It is the sovereignty of someone who can choose their next step. Clarity grows in the same soil. When you are at home in yourself, you no longer need to rush to fill every gap in conversation, no longer need to answer immediately, no longer need to drown discomfort with noise. Space appears around thoughts, and in that space you can examine them. Are they true? Are they helpful? Are they kind? He often suggests a simple question that has saved countless relationships. Am I sure? Solitude makes it possible to ask this question, not to delay truth, but to refine it. Many quarrels are prevented by 1 minute of quiet and a check on our own perception. This way of living also restores delight. Being with yourself is not merely utilitarian. It is beautiful. You begin to notice the sky as if for the first time in years, and to hear the shape of the wind in leaves. You taste fruit and can say honestly that sweetness is a kind of teaching. You sit with someone you love and feel your own heart soften in the shared silence. In How to Love, he insists that love is attention, and attention is made of time. Solitude gives you back time that you can spend on what matters most. Joy arises naturally in such spending. It is not the spike of novelty, it is the steady warmth of belonging to your own life. As solitude ripens, it gives you courage for action. Engaged Buddhism, which Thích Nhất Hạnh helped to articulate, is rooted in this inner peace. If you go into the world to help without being rooted, you will burn quickly and grow bitter. If you go with a heart that knows how to rest in silence even in the midst of noise, your help will be both strong and gentle. In Creating True Peace, he writes that reconciliation in families and communities begins with reconciliation within. Solitude is the place where reconciliation begins, because it is where we learn to meet our own pain without violence. From there, our words and deeds carry less harm. Let the chapter end as a practice, simple and real. Put the book down or hold it loosely and look at whatever is in front of you. Feel the weight of your body where it meets the chair or the ground. Let a breath arrive without your help. Feel the cool at the nostrils, the widening at the ribs. Let a breath leave without your interference. At the end of the out-breath, rest for a heartbeat in the ease of having let go. Let the mouth soften into a half smile, so light no one else could see it. If a thought insists, nod to it like an old friend and let it pass by. If a feeling rises, give it a little space and a little warmth. Sit for 1 minute longer than you planned. Then stand up and walk 3 slow steps, each step a quiet vow. I have arrived. I am home. This is the joy of solitude, as Thích Nhất Hạnh teaches it. Solitude as nourishment, not escape. Silence as living water, not emptiness. Aloneness as the place where we become gentle enough to meet the world as it is. The island within is not far away. It is exactly where you are when you breathe and know that you are breathing. When you can be there, even for a moment, you are no longer lonely. You are with yourself, and therefore with everything.